Good evening, everybody. I thought I just finished the stream here. I just had to it's on Reptile News on the other channel, and I was just familiarizing myself with. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen here. I'm just sort of making sure I've got everything in place here. I was just familiarizing myself with Photoshop again. I haven't used Photoshop in a while. I thought, well, I'm feeling bored tonight because it's a Friday night and it's smoky and muggy. And oh, sorry, there we go. Always forget that it's smoky and muggy in Victoria, and I thought I think the rest of Australia is also indoors to get away from all the smoke. And I thought let's edit some photos. Let's edit some photos. So I'm going to cut over to the desktop view so I can show you what we're doing tonight. So let's have a look at some photos. Now, Photoshop is, in recent times it looks like there's a lot of emphasis. A few years ago, I started doing this in 2000 and started doing the photos side of things in about 2010. So I got myself a nice Canon, I think it was a Canon 600D, one of the cheap, I think it was $1,000, maybe $1,400 photo, Australian. I decided to teach myself how to take photos and how to edit them. So I remember getting a lot of criticism for people saying, "Oh, your photos are over edited," and but I want to show a photo what I worked with in those days. And if you can get a fairly decent photo out of a camera, then you can Photoshop helps to get the basic things right for you. So we'll go in here and I'll show you So I've got a folder on my computer. I think there's like 6,000 photos or something on here of Reptile. So we'll start at the start here, and this is what I basically worked with. This was, you can see this was sort of your standard image that you see on Facebook. That's a female bredli. Let's have a look and see when this photo was. So this was taken on the 25th of the 11th, 2011. And this was a clutch. That's a fairly decent. I think from memory, I think that was like a 36 or 38 clutch. It's ridiculous how big bread-like clutches can be. So I thought while I was busy, so I just finished up on Reptile News. So that's my other channel, Reptile News, and you can find it on Facebook. And we've got a YouTube channel that I've just set up. I'm still learning how to do all the YouTube uploading and stuff. But it's live stream, so I don't do a lot of editing. I'm too lazy to do editing. So this is off the cuff, and I'll see if I can follow some of the comments. I don't think anybody's made a comment yet, but that was a big clutch of eggs. I think 38. And they breed at funny times. That was a clutch right in November, so they lay eggs right up to the end of November, and they hatch in January, late January. 60 days from there, so the 25th of January. I might have photos of the babies hatching. I don't think I took photos of the bredli. So let's have a look at some of these pictures. So this is just like an overview. So this basically right from the start all the way to the end of quite an expansive career of breeding snakes. Let me know if the sound's okay and if you can hear me all right. You can comment, and if you've got any questions. I know Photoshop can be very intimidating, but it doesn't have to be intimidating. I taught myself how to do it. There's a lot of tutorials online, and YouTube's your friend. People totally underestimate the value of YouTube. So there's some bad attitude here. I think this was, look at that little spit in the mouth, I'm going to kill you attitude. I love it. I never liked getting bitten. I just don't like bleeding, Matty Bryce, LOL, I did. There you go. Can't remember. I don't know what I did. Matty, what did you? LOL, I did. What does that mean? Laugh out loud, I did. Okay. So let's have a look at some of these snakes here that we've got here. So these photos you can see. This is sort of your average photo that people take online. See, I'm a lot more relaxed now. I have to do a stupid show, a rough and terrible show, and then after that, I seem to get into the groove. So here's one of my original Jaguars. Now that you can see the edges, I'm hoping you can see the pointer on the screen. So around the edges there, and I think from my dad timed the delay from when the comments go up. I think there's a 17-second delay from when you can see stuff coming up on your side of the screen versus when it leaves here. So I get it rebroadcasted to a few platforms. So that's a typical white jaguar. So that's one of my founder animals years back. And there's the first hyper-trans bearded dragon, I think, that was ever in Australia. So we won't go there. But in any case, one of my granites. That was a very nice snake. Very nice snake. One of the first as well. And then we'll go through some of them. I think there's a few zebras down here somewhere, a few bits and pieces. Nice zebra jaguar. Original line jag. There's another zebra. Very nice. I don't know, zebras, nice, but some of the stuff that I used to make. Now you can't do much with a photo like this. I mean, that's why? Let me just have a look and see. Let me just change the angle to see if there's a chat going on here. Okay, let me just make sure the chat's on. Chat's good to go. Let's just go. Hello. Let me just see what's going on. Sorry. Angle to see if there's a chat going on. No, I don't keep carpets anymore for extenuating reasons. So let me just change the angle again. Back to OBS. And then we'll just change the desktop. So there we go. So here's some of the... Looks like it's just your comments, Maddie. So that type of photo, there's not much you can do with those type of photos because you can see the shadows. There's no real attempt made. So this is sort of your standard photo that you see on Facebook, but this is taken with a DSLR. So you won't just get. So iPhones take nice photos, but they don't take photos. I don't think they take the type of quality that you can edit properly. So let's just move down here a little bit further. So I'll just show you a few photos that I just did before. So there's one of them that I did. That's of a jag. Close that up and go back. There's first albino Murray Darling carpet with 50% Murray Darling carpet that ever existed. And then just some other stuff here. So we'll see. Well, let's just have a look at these photos and we'll drag them into Photoshop and we'll edit them. And you might get some insight into how these... okay, let me just make sure. Okay, so I'm not going to focus too much on I'll try and get to the comments, but I want to get into this. I don't want to stay up the whole night. So a quick introduction to Photoshop of photos. Now, it's very important to get a good foundation of a photo. So there's not much you can do about this. This is sort of a B grade, That's sort of very hard to fix that up because that was on a piece of acrylic. It's like a white piece of plywood with a layer coating, clear coating on it that sort of had a reflective property. So let's see if we can do this. Let's see about it. So I know it's a carpet python page. There, let me just show you this guy. So that's the Murray Darling without it being, I think that was just an iPhone shot. And then I'll have a look. Let's see if I can add the chat to, but I don't want to block the screen. No, we'll just keep the chat on Facebook. I'll just run it on one side here. Okay. So let me just do this. So where's that photo? So let's see if I can do it. Let's take this granite carpet python. Let's drag it, click on it, drag it into Photoshop. So this is Photoshop 2020. It seems to make things a little bit easier. I had a bit of a struggle before on the other show where I had to, like, all my custom settings disappeared for some reason. So I had to set it up so it looked like a total ass on the other live stream. So the first thing that you have to do is you can notice that there's sort of you know, if you look around the sides of the photo, I don't know if you can see it, it's very dull in the background. That's because the light is probably underexposed that photo. But it's not bad. But let's see. So what I normally do first is I do Control L. Okay, that opens your levels box. Okay, or you can go up in the top here and you go Image, Adjustments, and you find levels right there. Now the thing that you're interested in here, and this works for all photos that you take. So the thing that works here is these little drippers that you see on the right hand, on the below the options panel there. You can see there's 3 little droppers, and that tells Photoshop that you can tell Photoshop. The middle one tells Photoshop that background. So if you take photos on black, we'll try. I've got some photos on black. We'll try and see how that works. I haven't done much photos on black, editing on black photos, but I've done a lot of photos on white. So you click on the white dropper, and then you go to your darkest spot on that picture around there, and you click white. So that tells Photoshop that is supposed to be white. So if you cancel that, see how dark the photo is. So that means that your lighting wasn't ample for there. So there'll probably be a lot of grain in that photo, but you can fix all of that type of stuff as well. Oh, there's quite a few of you joined in now. So let's go. So Control L. I think Photoshop comes with a monthly subscription now as well. I think it's like $10 or something, $15 or something in Australia. So you go white dropper, click on your picture, it turns it to white. It tells the Photoshop that's white. You press OK. Now, down at the bottom below the snakes, there's quite harsh shadows down there. So now you want to go to a brush. So you select a little brush here, click on the brush. And right on the left hand side you'll see there's a little brush. Click on that brush, and then there's various types of brushes in the top here. So you can go and you can select brushes. I usually pick a brush that's got like a feathered edge to it. There's all different styles. There's soft round, modified, soft round. So you just have to play around with it. You don't want a sharp edge brush because you want to run over those shadows and just ease them away a little bit, you know. And then you need to choose the size of your brush. So you can pick the size of your brush. I'll show you guys a shortcut for that. So this is stuff that I taught myself. So it's maybe not the best Photoshop tutorial that you'll get, but it will help you out if you've got photos that you want to use on Facebook or just to make your things, because you can get Photoshop for iPad as well. Well, I might do a show on a Photoshop for iPad. So what you want to do is, let's crop the photo smaller first. So undo that, edit, undo brush tool. Okay, so let's crop it smaller. So there's a little panel here that says crop, and with this it's got little like a little square edge on the left hand side there. You see there, Photoshop tells you crop tool, so that allows you to crop that photo. So you crop it. So it's not, you don't have to know everything about Photoshop to do photos, but you just need to know some of it, stuff that works. So we'll center this photo. There's not much else, not much of the head's in the middle, so you want to sort of concentrate on the face. I like to give it a nice even edge if there's no rule of thirds involved. Normally if the body's to this side, I like to crop in so that the body sits towards the open space. Okay, and then you just right click on your mouse and you crop. Okay, that brings it smaller. So now it gives you a little bit less space to have to edit. Okay, so let's go and get our brush. You pick your brush. You got your brush, and now let me just show you. So the overhead view, these little brackets on the just below the plus and the equal sign on your computer, that makes, I'll show you the desktop. I'll show you. So that makes your brush larger and smaller, larger, smaller. Okay, now we can just go, make sure your color's right. So there's a color picker down on the left hand side here. You see mine's sort of like a beige color, and you can alternate between you. If you click on it, normally you just click on whichever one you want to do, and then you can swap between your colors. So let's just click the top one. I just don't want to make it too involved. Now on this color chart, color picker, so the foreground color and you put it right in the top corner, top left corner, and then you make sure you have to drag this right down. So you'll see this H here, the H and the S needs to be on 0. Okay, bang. So that's pure white. Now we run over there. Look at this magic. Let's take this away. Take it away. Take it away. Hang on. Let me just see. I'm not sure if this is all white. Okay, yeah. Because I've set it so you have to multiple click on it. Normally you can just hold the button in. In this case, you have to sort of double click, make multiple clicks. So that takes your edge away. And now what I like to do is I like to zoom in. So Z, open up the zoom panel and you can just zoom in down to the bottom here. Alright. Let's see if there's been any. Like the page. Remember to like just like the post if you think that this information is valuable. What am I doing? So let's go. Yeah, we check the brush tool. Okay, sorry, you're hearing suits in the background there. My mic doesn't get rid of all the sound. Okay, so there we go. Now you just edit that out. So let's make this opacity a little bit more. Okay, so let's go. So a little bit bigger, and then you just make the edge a bit sharper. Make it a little bit harder. So let's make it 25. Let's see how we go with 20. Let's do 20. Okay. Decrease the size of your brush. And now go over the edges. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit better. So it's not hard. Not hard. I overdid it there. So let's just undo the brush tool a little bit. Edit, undo. Edit, undo. Edit, undo. Okay. There we go. You don't want to do it too hard because then it spoils some of the image. So let's make the brush a little bit smaller. And what you want to do is you literally just want to run. Let's make it a little bit lower, like about 50. Okay, let's just ease this out. Okay, so ease some of this out so it looks a bit more natural. You don't want sharp edges. You don't want, there's nothing that gives an amateur away more than sharp, undiffused light over photos. I see it so often. Some of the top guys in the world, top snake breeders in the world that use their flashes over their photos, and then it's just, the shadows are so harsh in their pictures. So you want a nice even little shadow here, just a faint little shadow. Then you press Z, you say fit on screen, and bang, there it fits it back on screen. Now you can of course go and light. So if that picture seems a little bit underexposed, so you just go exposure. Okay, that means it's not enough light on that photo. It was taken way too dark. So what you do is you increase your exposure just slightly. So bring your exposure up. Looks like it was about 1 stop under. Yeah, maybe 2 stops. 0.3 of a stop. No, well, let's go up more. Let's go up. Let's just, you can always undo stuff. See, that's too much. See how yellow the labial pits are on that snake now. So probably about 0.3, I think. Yep. Okay, that's it. Alrighty then, and then of course you can sharpen the image a little bit. I like to sharpen it, so you go to filters, sharpen, smart sharpen, and then you can move this box away so you can get onto there. So that's way too hard. So these settings are slightly too hard. So what I want to do is I want to bring the sharpening down, the radius on the sharpening. So bring it down to about 2, maybe 2 or so. Bring it down. And now you'll probably find them far more pleasing. Zoom in on the eye. Yeah, so this wasn't a very high resolution photo. As I said, this was one of the first photos. It was almost 10 years ago that I took this photo. Okay, but that's not too bad. Probably crop it in a bit more, but you don't want to go too nuts. And then it usually gives you an option to save it. So yes, let's save it. Maximum, 12, maximum, blah, blah, baseline, standard, yes, okay. All the presets are usually pretty good, okay. Now, let's see, next photo. So the more you do this, the faster you get at it. So you can literally go for any of these photos. So let's see something that I haven't done before. So Maybe this one of the albino. I don't think this photo wasn't too in focus now. I don't like that picture. What about this guy? I don't know if this photo was in focus. That's, I think, maybe a reason why. Oh no, that's pretty good focus. So you might notice this photo's got a lot of space above it. So what I like to do is you just crop this, give it some more width. There we go. Yeah, maybe out this way. So that eye is sort of right there. Maybe no. Maybe a little bit like this. Probably like that. Probably maybe a little bit. Maybe let's move it around. Let's move it to this way. That's it. That's it. Right there. Right there. Okay, now remember what I said. We go Control L, levels. Eyes nicely in focus on this photo. So pick your levels. Go, I think the most yellow right about there. And then there's still an edge of yellow there. So too much. Too much? That's alright. That's alright. You can never have too much adjusting. Okay, so let's go. That's pretty good already, in my eyes, in my standards. So that helps to work on a screen that's calibrated as well. So you want to calibrate your screen, so you don't have to, when we're talking. Now to make sure your color, you want to take a brush and you just want to go over it. So just you make sure that it's on 0, 0. So make sure that this adjustment here is all the way down, and that little half moon circle, that little pizza slice over there is in the corner. Okay, now it looks like we might run around here, so let's just edge this away. Edge down here. You can increase the size of your brush, so it makes it easier. You just go around the edges, around that. Beautiful, and that's it. You want to make sure that the background is all white, because on Facebook, on that white background, if you've got areas that are off white, you can actually notice it on Facebook. It screws up a photo. Facebook's the best for destroying picture quality, but they're the best for showing imperfections in your white and your not so much black, but they like to show imperfections in your white background. Okay. So that's it. So now you close that screen and you can save it. Yes, we want to save that maximum. Yep. All those preset settings are pretty good. And then let's go to the next one. Let's see. I don't think I've ever done a good edit of this guy. Let's just see which one's a good photo. That's pretty good. So that is a 2738. 2738. Okay, so this one here. We'll have a look now at some photos on black, and we'll see if we can edit those photos. So remember what I said. So we can crop. I like to crop first. So you crop the picture and rotate it. So if you go to the bottom edge here, you can literally straighten that picture. Okay, and then you can bring the edge out a little bit more if you run out of space. I'll probably tilt it a little bit more so you get that nice roll effect there. Okay, easy. Then you crop, right? Then you go and get your Control L, get your little dropper. Tell Facebook that's what, go to your yellowest spot here, off color, and that's it. Okay. Now you probably want to get your exposure out, so image adjustment, your exposure probably down on this photo, because it looks like this photo had way too much light on it. So let's go down, let's go down, let's go down. So now your whole picture goes, you don't want to darken it too much. It's a little bit easier to edit photos in RAW as well. RAW, if you've got a RAW file, because RAW you can crop it whatever way you want to. Okay, so that's it. And then you, okay, fine, crop. Now, Get your little brush. Remember it would automatically adjust to a different color down here if you've clicked on a color that you've picked that yellow color that you wanted out of the picture. So remember to move your color picker into the right spot again, and then you just go over the edges here. Okay, hang on. This is Aye, there you go. Opacity was on 1, so you can go around the corner. Oh, and it would help now as well to go L. Make sure you pick white, because now when you've underexposed the photo, it's going to change the picture again. So, okay, no, it takes it back up. So, no, let's just rather cancel that. And we'll just go and make it white by hand. Okay, so in the corners, make sure it's 0, 0. And then you just go around the sides. Okay, easy. A photo, go around the sides. And if you find that see how it's just a slightly off color, the picture. Go around your edges. Make sure you go all around. And that helps if your snakes giving you a good posture like that. They're just the hardness down a bit. Down to about 10. Okay. Yeah, so now it will edge it out and it won't bleed into your photo. So you can't, can't look like your snake's got a halo around it. It's a little bit better. So that's not too bad. Okay. And then, right up at the top here, I missed it out. There we go. Easy. So now you can go into your sharpen again, smart sharpen, bang. Have a look there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, easy. And there's your Jaguar. Save. Yes. Let's see. Let's check something. Okay. Now, let's do the next one. Alright. So, go back in here. What can we do? What photo? Let's do one of these Murray hybrids down here. So Murray Darwin. Let's try something a little bit smaller. I'm just looking for something that's got a nice, decent roll to it. So let's go this guy. Straight in there. Control L. You can see it was sitting on paper, so we'll get our picker. Pick the color there. Okay. Change your color to white. Make sure this all the way down. Good thing with these color pickers, now you can even out. If it was sitting on paper, you can literally even out the paper down here. Okay. And you can't see the thing on. So when you upload the photo, it's going to look like that snake was on a pure white, but it was sitting on paper. That helps. If you're keeping reptiles, keep them on, snakes especially, if you're keeping them on white paper, it makes it so much easier to edit the photos afterwards. Clean white paper. Of course you can have crap stains and whatever, but most of the time you can edit crap stains. So let's just go here. We go filter, sharpen, smart sharpen, and there you go. Right over there. That's perfect. Okay. Crop it. Bring it in. Bring it in on the corner there. Maybe let's put it in the corner like that. Easy. Rule of thirds, And crop. Snake done. Yeah? Snake done. Make sure that everything is white. Oops. And then you can undo, go undo brush tool at the top there. Nice and white. Easy. And that's it. Close it up and it saves it automatically. Yes, let's go and see what else we've got here. There's so many snakes in here. Let's do this guy. Drag this guy in here. Oof. Now you can see this guy was sitting on paper. So let's see what Photoshop. So Control L. What was white? This is white down here. And that brings the colors down. So you have to be clever with where you put that white pointer dropper because you don't want to screw up your photo. Make sure your color is white again. Bring it into the corner here. Bring that down. Okay, I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. There's always a better way of doing it. And then you just gently go over the edges. It helps when they're coiled like that as well, you know. Be smart. Maybe bring in the hardness. There we go. And you just edge it away. You can, of course, zoom in and go and do it more. I'm just doing a real quick job about it. And you can lasso, you can use the smart eraser tool to erase the background as well. But I find that there's more work involved in that. So if you want to do a quick edit, so over on the top there, see now, if you zoom in on this, I'll show you what I've done wrong there. So if you zoom in, see how that looks like there's a bit of smog over there. So we'll do this undo brush tool. Simple as that. And then you can bring your tool a bit smaller. Just go over the top here. It's very important. On Facebook, it's not so obvious when you've made a boo-boo. But one thing, as I said before, one thing that they can notice is that if the white's not pure white. Okay, so let's do this. We go down here. Brush tool. I'm sure there's a few guys that will be comparing notes with how I do this versus how they do it. Not many guys do proper photo editing on their snakes. Okay, let's do that. Play around, make sure you increase your... Really do need something that can edit faster. So I need a keyboard that's got a scroll wheel on it. And you can go down. And you can do the same with most animals. I mean, it's not... lizards are a little bit odd because they've got those claws and feet and weird looking things that poke out of their bodies. That makes it a little bit harder to edit. But snakes are usually a breeze. You don't want to go too crazy. You want it to have a little bit of a shadow, you know, but you don't want it to be extremely harsh, you know. So you go around the corners. And that's it. Now when you zoom out, you just press fit to screen. There's your snakes. See, I went a little bit hard over the edge here. Let's see if I can undo that. Ooh, yeah, that's a little bit too hard. Maybe bring the brush tool in a little bit. And there's this like pink tinge to the paper there. Yeah, that's where you had a wee on the stained it. So fit on screen. Yeah, and there's your jag. Now what we do is we smart sharpen that. Okay. Perfect. And okay. Just to give it a more crispness. And that's it. Yes. Okay. Beauty. Do one more. Eventually when you get good at it, you can basically nail it first up. So let's see what we can do with this. So this was just a albino gecko. It looks pretty good. I think there's darker edges around the top here. So let's quickly have a look at it. So let's go Control L. And the blur on the tongue there, yeah, that's what I didn't like about that photo. I didn't like that the tongue was blurry. So let's see. I'm pretty sure I've had a picture where I actually managed to freeze the frame there. Oof. Here's a good one. Okay. 5041. Drag that sucker in here. So now this is a raw file. So you crop it, auto crops where it thinks it. So this is a lot easier to use. And then there should be white balance here somewhere. Um, okay. And then white vibrance. Okay, so you get a lot more. Okay, so crop. Let's not do that. This is a little bit more advanced. Then I'll need to do a little bit of refresher course of that. So let's drag this guy in here. This is a JPEG. Okay, now Control L. I think I saw a dark patch up here, so you tell it that's white. We'll tell you if it's not. There we go. Right up here. Okay. Then you do your brush tool. Make it nice and big. Make sure this is all white. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this photo looks pretty good already. So if you set your camera levels, if you use a gray card when you do your photography, then you can pretty much get the spot on photo straight up out of the camera. Slight editing, a little bit more cropping. Geckos look nice, a little bit more sharpening around the eyes. So you sharpen that guy a little bit, smart sharpen. Yep, that's it. Okay. And that's it. Then you've got your gecko. Albino knobtail gecko. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you save it. Yeah, let's save it. Let's save it. You can see it amongst the rest there. Yeah, so there it is. Nice white background. Let's see one of these little guys. Okay, so here's one. These are tiny geckos. I mean, this is like a teeny weeny. Okay, that's a raw file. Let's not do that. Let's not do raw. Okay, so I've edited that photo. JPEG, drag that sucker in here. Let's see. Okay. Let's get white background. Yep. There's a little bit of spot of dirt here on the tail. Give it a good clean and then sharpen. This one needs a bit more sharpening over the eye, but let's not go there. It's not the ideal. It's a carpet python page, so let's not get sucked into gecko stuff. So no. Okay, no other questions? Maybe I need to refresh this screen of mine. Okay. Thanks, George. Yeah, I don't know why my messages aren't coming through on the chat. I should maybe just see where I can stick a live. Let me just open up Photoshop. Let me just grab a photo in there. Let's see it. Bearded dragon on a hand. Let's do a challenge. Let's go. Bearded dragon on a hand picture. Okay. So I could probably put the chat in here somewhere. Maybe on the right hand side here, because I don't need that. So let me just see if I can drag it in there. So let me do a browser. Restream. Okay. And we move it over there. Okay. And now I should see when you guys comment. Let me see if I can see you guys comment. Hello. Go. Okay. Now when you comment, is it still rolling on? Yeah, it's still going on Facebook. For some reason, the messages aren't coming through Facebook. So, not quite sure what's going on there. Okay, now I'm back. Alright. Let's open OBS on this so I can see what's going on. Alright. So you've got your one standard leatherback bearded dragon here. And what we're going to do is we're taking our Control L. Just make sure Control L. Pick your picker. And then don't go here because this does that. Okay, you don't want to do that. Don't be smart. Don't do that. Be clever. Be clever. Let's go. So you want to do your Control L, your levels. Go to your little white dropper. Go click right there. Oh, too much. Click right there. Click right there. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. So let's go. Then you just do this. Take out the edges. Bang, 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 bang. And go around the edges. You don't have to worry too much about it. See my fingertips. Oh. Okay, let's undo that. Undo brush. Okay. Let's just do this outside. Sometimes it helps to lift your finger up from the mouse button, the left side, so that it doesn't. And then sharpen. Remember, we always do a little bit of sharpening, smart sharpening. You have to be smart to sharpen. See the eye's not in focus. You can zoom in on that. That's a terrible shot. So sorry for wasting your time. Let's do some snakes. We don't save that. I don't do that. Okay, let's see what other animals we've got. There's so many to choose from. Let's look at this guy. Now this guy you can see was sitting in a corner in a tub. So let's just have a look and see which one of these are in focus. Okay, no. Maybe this one. This one looks alright. This one looks okay. Or maybe we should just do a front on one like this. See the camera? I don't think the camera focused on the eye. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. There we go. That one's in focus on the eye. So, what was that number? So it's 5093. 5093. This one here. Drag it into Photoshop. Okay. Now let's crop this sucker. Okay, let's crop it. So we'll turn it sideways first so that the eye is perfectly aligned. Okay, then we move this. We move this. We move this. Oh shit, not that one. We move this one. Okay, and we move this. Let's make sure that that head's perfectly center in that square right in the middle. There we go. And then crop. Like a big old scissor coming down. Alright, now Control L. Now this one's a tough one because that paper's not perfect. That paper's not really white, so you want to just sort of get it white. Okay, because we're going to do a little bit of fancy brush work here. So make sure your brush is perfect white. You can see that's off. You have to have right, and so when you bring this down, you'll see the red on this side and the white on that. Neck's actually stiff from sitting. I don't know how people sit behind PCs the whole day. It's going to be the end of me. And now you just brush it out. Brush the white right out. the shadow right out. Okay, so now we'll go a little bit smaller here, so to give us a little bit sharper edge around the corners here, a bit more controlled. Okay, and we just go around the corners, easy. Okay, hopefully you guys, hopefully there's a few of you that go, oh, I could do this. That's the aim of the game. And I did a lot of searching on YouTube for tutorials about this, and it's not often that people edit photos of snakes. It's an uncommon practice. You would think that people don't like snakes. Go figure. Alright, so this was a particularly nice carpet python. Only one that ever, I think the only one that I ever made that looked like that. Now that looks nice, doesn't it? Look at it. Beautiful snake. Now you can still edit, so if it feels a bit cramped here, you can still do this, or you can bring this edge in and bring this edge forward a little bit, and then it gives you a little bit of a perspective that it looks like it's coming for a feed. So you crop that. Don't like that. Let's crop this down so it's a better format for print. Okay. Crop. Now let's sharpen a little bit. The good old smart sharpen. This is very important that you don't overdo it. So go and zoom in on the eye. Eye's pretty good. Once you resize the photo to go onto Facebook, it's a different story. There's a few people I know that's joined in. G'day, lads. And then, okay, there we go. Nice crop. Okay, now let's not crop. Okay, let's do this. Let's go there. Beautiful. And then you've got your nice carpet. Okay, remember to save. Don't lose all your work. Yes, save. I'll make it look a little bit easier. It's fine work with an old mouse. I got a nice. It helps to have a decent mouse to work with. Let's see one of these photos. Now let's not work with the same animal over and over. Let's go and see what we've got here. No. What about this guy? That's already. See the eye totally out. See, this is a raw file. What is this guy doing? He doesn't want the camera. You'll find with albinos that they love to do that. They hate cameras. Hate them. Oh, see this guy hates the camera so much he went blurry. Huh? Okay, let's look at one of these. So that's the original photo, and I think that would be a raw file, so it's going to give us this fancy format. But you can crop that. I just need to, let me just say, so open, yeah, save, so crop, open image. So, okay, so it's not so hard. You just need to edit it. So this is pretty good already, you know, this is pretty good already. The eye's in focus, background's pretty white. Just make sure it's white, just run your brush around the corners. See, this is when I started using expensive lights to get that smooth, silky, soft shadow around the edges. And then you just go view and you just go filter. Remember your smart sharpen tool, smart sharpen, bang. Look at this guy's eye. Yeah. For the type of camera, and I was using a kit lens. So I mean, the kit lenses are usually a cheap little lens that you get with your camera. You wanna try and get a decent lens when you buy a camera. Okay, so that's fine. So it closes up. Yes, we'll save that. Thank you. Save on your computer. Shit. Hang on. Let's just see. We'll save it as a JPEG. Okay, yeah. And save. Let's replace it. Yeah, let's just replace that. Okay, easy. So there it is. Okay, let's look at some more carpet pythons. Man, I had some carpets. Dozens and dozens and dozens of them. There's this guy as well. They're being sold all over the place. No. First one that ended up with Peter Birch. And you know. Still waiting to see a return on that, but you know, such is life, I guess. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, this was a nice carpet. Okay. So let's look at this guy. So this was one of the best ones that I ever made. So eye in focus. No, it's not in focus. I'm not even going to bother. Get one with eyes in focus. Let's check it out. Yeah, eyes in focus on that. So let's just open the image and we'll edit it. Looks pretty good. So Control L, levels. Okay, on the paper there, brings it up. Then you do your, pardon me, your brush. Make sure your color is white. Okay, there's a bad little line there. So what we'll do is adjust your brushes. Around the edges of stuff like this, so it helps to zoom in on finer detail like this. See how grainy that picture is. So it's not the best, you know, it's not the best camera, not the best lens that I use. Let's just put it this way. You got a sharper lens and better lights, you know. I only worked out this year that I was shooting with an APS camera. Crop sensor or crop sensors. APS, no, APC. APC or APS, I think it's just, let's just call it a crop sensor. My memory is gone. You can do this, is going to be a little bit more work, so use your brushes. Go around the edges, make sure you get it nicely done. Sort of anticipate where the shadow is going to be. So if the light's coming from that way, that paper was slightly dirty underneath that snake. Okay, over here, a piece of paper right out there. Might leave a little white tinge there, but make sure you get all the rubbish out of the corners here. Okay, very straightforward really. If you know the basics are real straightforward. So you just need to make sure, not that people are going to zoom in on your photos and, you know, although I do know a few guys that used to zoom in and analyze your pictures and carry on about it, you know, instead of improving your own skills with this stuff. See, it's a little bit foggy there, but who cares? From where we started, you know, this was really just a quick tutorial, and I've just gotten into this now. I've forgotten how relaxing as this can be. So let's zoom out, fit on screen. There's a nice carpet, and then remember to do your smart sharpen. So we're not adjusting the color at all. We're just sharpening and making sure we get it, but it helps. So now, if you sharpen a little bit, the eye looks a lot better. Okay, and there's a dirty spot right in the middle there, but we won't even go near that. Okay, and then we close it up. Save on computer. We'll tell it to be a JPEG. Let's go JPEG. Okay. Save. Yes, let's replace it. And I think that's about it for tonight. I'm a little bit over it at the moment. So I hope a few of those tips help you guys to edit your pictures. And yeah, I'll see you around soon. Thank you for watching.